Reports of mysterious drone sightings continue to come in from cities across the U.S.
From glowing UFOs lighting up the night sky to mysterious disc-shaped objects disappearing in an instant. These moments aren't just random, they seem deliberate and calculated. With each new video, the dozens of questions echo.
Where did that?
So, stick around, because what you're about to see might just change everything you thought you knew. One night, a driver was heading home when he noticed lights in the sky. At first, he thought it was just an airplane since planes use lights when flying at night. But as he looked closer, he realized its shape was different, and it was moving much slower than any plane would. The only other giant shape that came to his mind was an otherworldly craft. Could it be? Sure enough, as he watched, it became clear. It was a UFO, and the driver couldn't shake the thought that maybe the craft was observing Earth, preparing for a future visit. He couldn't help but wonder if this was just the beginning of something much bigger. Glowing UFO. You've probably heard of many UFO sightings around the world, but you never know how they end, except in this case. On January 11th, 2025, footage was uploaded online showing strange blue lights appearing over someone's house. The family watched in amazement, trying to figure out what it was. Then, out of nowhere, a blue light portal opened right in front of them. To their astonishment, the object they had been watching flew straight into the portal, which closed right after. And witnesses couldn't believe their eyes. A UFO had just gone through their home right in front of them. It was a sight never to be forgotten. Alien invasion.
Right now, that's in the sky. Don't know what it is.
Have you ever seen something that looked like it came straight out of a movie, but in real life? Well, if not, what about this? On January 27th, 2025, a video surfaced showing a giant object hovering over a city. The object looked like it was burning or glowing. It had a dark exterior, but inside, it seemed as if fire or light was coming from within. It appeared to float in air, almost unreal. It was so massive that one thing was clear. Earth had never seen anything like this before. But no one knows exactly where it happened, and rest of the story remains a mystery. If you've heard anything about it, I'd love to know.
They not lying.
Fleet of UFOs. What would you do if you came across a sight like this? While camping in the woods, a camper heard strange noises at night. Stepping out of his tent, he looked up and couldn't believe his eyes. Not one or two, but many giant objects with glowing blue lights were hovering in the sky. They weren't balloons or drones. These were UFOs. At first, objects just levitated, completely still. Then, slowly, one after another, they began to rise. It was clear these things had been there for a while, and now it seemed to be leaving, headed back to where they came from. The camper stood there in astonishment, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. It was a moment that would stay with him forever. Massive UFO.
So what is this here?
On January 16th, a strange video surfaced online showing a glowing object in the night sky. A local who witnessed it was left in shock. The object had bright lights arranged in a circle, with blue lights glowing in the center. It hovered quietly, moving slightly, and made no sound. The person who recorded it couldn't believe what they were seeing. Some believed it was a UFO, while others thought it could be a drone. Whatever it was, the mystery still remains. What was really flying in the sky that night?
Oh, we can call it an UFO.
UFOs over Maryland. One night in Maryland, a camper was resting in his tent deep in the woods when he heard strange voices outside. They didn't sound like animals or people. Curious, he stepped out and looked up. 3 glowing objects hovered in the sky, their blue lights lighting up dark. They didn't move, just hung there in silence. One of them shone brighter than the others, almost like it was sending a message. The camper froze, realizing aliens were right above him. He wondered what their next move would be. Would they leave? Or was something bigger about to happen? The night would never be the same. Best Combo Sunset and UFO. On August 18th, 2007, a drone was capturing a beautiful sunset when an unusual thing appeared. A giant object glowing orange from beneath suddenly emerged in the sky. Its shape was unlike anything viewers had seen before. As the drone continued to record, it became clear that this wasn't a typical aircraft. The object hovered for a while, drawing the attention of everyone watching. Then, just as quickly as it appeared, it disappeared without a trace. Some believed it had been searching for a spot to land, while others were left wondering if it would ever return. Great UFO footage. A beachgoer was enjoying the beautiful shoreline when he spotted an unbelievable sight. Two giant disc-shaped objects rotating just above the beach. They hovered around silently, almost as if they were observing Earth. And after that, they moved toward the city. It felt like more than just a visit. Who knows? Maybe they were planning to take their first step on our planet, or something far more unsettling. Whatever their purpose, this sight left a weird feeling that they might return soon. UFO chase. In Spain, a group of fishermen were on their boat when they spotted two fighter jets flying just above them in the middle of the ocean. It seemed strange, right? But things got even weirder. When they turned to right, they saw a giant, rounded craft suddenly enter the water and disappear beneath the surface. Afterward, a military helicopter appeared over their ship, circling around. It looked like the crew was trying to make sure fishermen forgot what they'd just seen. After a while, the helicopter flew off, leaving fishermen in stunned silence. That craft was never seen again, leaving fishermen with one unforgettable mystery that they couldn't explain. UFO spotted. A video surfaced from an airport in the Arab world showing strange lights in the dark sky. As the camera zoomed in, the lights took shape. A disc-shaped saucer, unmistakably a UFO. There were no other aircraft with that kind of shape, making it clear what was being captured. People online speculated wildly about its origin. Was it a secret military craft, or truly extraterrestrial? Some even claimed it was a sign of something big coming. And it's moments like this that make you wonder, what else might be out there, just beyond our sight? UFO over Ukraine. While roaming around their locality in Ukraine, a group of locals found themselves under a giant saucer-shaped object hovering above them, which seemed to be coming straight toward them. The way it moved made one thing clear. This wasn't there by coincidence. Locals felt the tension as craft's intentions became apparent, but their luck didn't hold out for long. As they tried to retreat, something seemed to strike the object. The UFO began descending rapidly toward the ground, its movements unpredictable. And then, it crashed in the distance. Locals were left in shock, unsure of what they had just witnessed, and the mystery of that UFO and its sudden crash lingered in their minds long after. UFO landing. A video recently surfaced online that quickly grabbed people's attention. The footage, recorded at night, showed a spherical object hovering over a remote area. The surroundings were pitch dark, making it hard to pinpoint exact location. But one thing was clear. This wasn't something ordinary. Its shape and movement were unmistakable. It was an alien craft, and it looked like it was preparing to land on Earth. As this video spread, speculation ran wild. Was this moment we had all been waiting for? Was this the first sign of extraterrestrial visitors coming to our planet? The world waited in anticipation, wondering what would happen next. Alien Mothership. While recording the neighborhood, a local spotted a strange thing in the sky. At first, it seemed like just a dark cloud, but then he noticed 4 glowing circles moving with it. It was odd, almost like something was hiding inside the clouds. The more he watched, the more he thought about it. What could cause such a strange sight? The only thing that made sense was a UFO. It seemed like a perfect way for something to hide in plain sight. Maybe the cloud wasn't really a cloud at all. It could have been a UFO itself, camouflaged in the sky. Whatever it was, it definitely wasn't something he had ever seen before, leaving him wondering what he'd just witnessed. UFO sighting. In Bulgaria, a homeowner stepped outside his house on a clear day and saw something unusual in sky. Unlike other sightings, this one was in broad daylight, and there was no doubt about what it was. In the beginning, the object just hovered in place, but then, right in front of him, it zipped away and vanished. He hoped that would be the last he saw of it, but deep down, he wondered, when would it come back? And more importantly, was it safe? The experience made him think twice about what might be out there. Brazilian UFO.
Véi do céu. Falei que eu tava vendo alguma coisa.
In Brazil, a couple of locals were driving down a road when they noticed a strange object behind a cloud. Only a small portion of it was visible, so they decided to stop their car and take a closer look. With just a glimpse, it was hard to tell what it was, but they had a strong feeling it wasn't anything ordinary. As they watched, a sudden blue light appeared behind the cloud, and the object quickly descended into the cloud, disappearing without a trace. Though that UFO vanished as quickly as it had appeared, the couple knew what they had seen. It was a sight never to be forgotten. UFO over Bermuda. On June 21st, 2021, a beachgoer on Bermuda Peninsula was enjoying a sunny day when something unusual caught his eye. Hovering over water was a disc-shaped object, and from its shape, it was clear it wasn't a normal aircraft. It was an alien spaceship. For a while, it just hovered in place, moving slowly here and there. Then, without warning, it zipped off into distance and disappeared, leaving the beachgoer in shock. Though the object was gone in an instant, he couldn't shake the feeling that it hadn't vanished for good. It made them wonder, could it return? And this strange sight was one they'd never forget. UAP sighting.
Look at it. Look at this thing.
On January 25th, 2025, in Dover, Delaware, a local spotted strange lights floating in the sky. Curious, he zoomed in with his camera and realized it wasn't just a light, it was a flying object. But something about its shape was off. It didn't look like any aircraft he had ever seen before. After a lot of thinking and trying to make sense of it, the only conclusion that made sense to him was that it might be an alien spacecraft. Who knew? Maybe it was looking for a place to land. And just maybe, people of Dover would be first to meet these visitors from another world.
Look how close it is to me now, and how far away it was.
Puerto Rico objects. In 2013, a U.S. Customs and Border Protection aircraft recorded strange footage near Rafael Hernandez Airport in Puerto Rico. The infrared video showed a fast object zooming across the sky. Its shape was unusual, nothing like anything from this planet. It flew over Puerto Rico for a long time, and even seemed to split into two. Many believed it was a UAP showing unnatural abilities. However, when experts analyzed the footage, they struggled to understand what was happening. These objects moved at wind speed in a straight line and then disappeared later on. Mount Etna UFO. In December 2018, a U.S. Air Force infrared sensor recorded strange footage over the Mediterranean Sea. The video showed something flying through hot smoke and ash from Mount Etna's eruption in Sicily. This sight sparked curiosity, with many wondering if it was truly unusual. Even experts later analyzed that footage and uncovered the truth. The extreme heat and atmospheric conditions distorted the video, yet it made it very clear that an object passed through the eruption, and its fast movement and strange appearance suggested it could be a UFO. After all, there is no other object that could do so. UFO seen from space station. This video was recorded from the International Space Station in 2021, when two astronauts were fixing something outside the station. One of them was recording the other when they captured an unexpected sight, a disc-shaped object slowly hovering in the distance behind them. It only appeared for a brief moment, but it was enough to spark curiosity. When the video was uploaded, it quickly went viral. People couldn't stop talking about it. Some were convinced that what was once thought to be a myth was now becoming a reality, with the video giving us a glimpse of something truly out of this world. UFO on Mars.
To me, this object doesn't seem to have gotten here through natural processes. Its shape and the way it seemed to settle into the landscape is completely different.
In 2021, a researcher studying Mars orbiter images spotted a strange sight. A photo showed a long trail in the dirt leading to a round, disc-shaped object stuck in the ground. And that object had a smooth, curved shape that didn't seem natural. A South African researcher believed it might be the remains of a crashed UFO. Measuring about 12 to 15 meters wide, it looked nothing like usual rocks or craters on Mars. Its shape and the way it was settled in the ground didn't fit the typical Martian landscape. This unusual discovery sparked curiosity and speculation around the world. Was it evidence of something extraterrestrial? Or was there another explanation for this mysterious object?
South African researcher says he found what appeared to be the remains of a UFO crash. The object that he was looking at was between 12 and 15 meters in diameter, and it could be the remains of a flying disc that had crashed on the red planet.
Caught on live TV. During a live show one night, something spectacular happened in front of hundreds of people when the host was using a laser pointer, trying to show the audience when an orb appeared in the distance. Suddenly, in the same direction, a bright light appeared and vanished in a flash. The crowd gasped, but it didn't stop there. When the host pointed the laser pointer again, the same thing happened. The light flashed and disappeared once more, and the audience was left in wonder, with many wondering if this was some kind of communication. Could aliens be responding to laser pointers? That idea that they might be trying to reach out through this was enough to leave everyone in wonder. UFOs on Moon. In March 2024, a video was uploaded online that quickly went viral. It showed footage from a satellite capturing not just one, but several strange moving objects on the moon's surface. As this video spread, debates started among netizens. Unlike other mysterious sightings, this one felt different. People didn't hesitate to call these UFOs, and the idea that aliens had visited the moon gained traction. Some even speculated that maybe they had been there long before us, and were still there, watching silently. That video sparked wild theories and discussions, with many convinced that what they had seen wasn't just an anomaly. It was proof that we're not alone in the universe, and that our moon holds more than we can imagine. UFO over California. During a hike, a group of hikers spotted a massive object just hovering over a mountain. The object was completely stationary, and many of them believed it might be the command center of aliens on Earth. It's easy to see why they thought this. A craft that large certainly wasn't just here to say hi. They believed it was much bigger. Maybe it was planning something huge, possibly even an invasion of Earth. It's an alarming thought, right? A giant UFO just sitting there, seemingly waiting. It's hard not to wonder what real intentions behind it were. What do you think? Could this be start of something bigger? UFO caught on camera. A Swedish cameraman was filming one of his friends at Bonn Airport when something shocking happened. A UFO suddenly appeared, sending everyone into a panic. People started running in all directions as craft hovered above them. But then, surprisingly, it landed smoothly on the ground. At first, everyone was terrified. But as the UFO touched down, an unexpected thing happened. Airport staff calmly approached. No one seemed scared at all. Instead, they helped aliens park their ship as if the arrival had been expected. It was a moment that left everyone confused, as those aliens seemed friendly, but after that, no one knows what happened next, leaving everyone wondering what was going on. UFO crash. While on a desert safari in White Sands Desert, New Mexico, a tourist spotted a strange thing strange in the sky. A giant object was speeding toward Earth, but it didn't seem to have control over its movement. A tourist watched as it grew larger, and just before he could react, that object crashed into the ground. When it hit, pieces of craft scattered across the desert. As the dust settled, it was clear that the impact was massive, but the fate of whoever or whatever was inside remained unknown, and no one knew what had really happened after that. Disc-shaped UFO.
Just hop right in it. He's good.
Yeah, please move quickly.
On the night of February 7th, 2012, a homeowner in the UK was about to go to sleep when something caught his eye through the window. He saw an unusual object floating in the sky. The object stayed there for a while, almost as if it was observing that area. After a few moments, it slowly began to move away, heading into the distance. Like many others would have thought, the homeowner wondered if it was an otherworldly spaceship hovering above Earth. It wasn't the first time something like this had been seen, but the question of their intentions remained. As strange as it was, we can only hope their visit was peaceful.
I don't think I handled it as well.
Are you scared?
UFO sighting in Texas. In Texas, a local was walking near woods when he noticed something strange in the sky. A shiny, silver disc-shaped object hovered just above him. At first, it seemed to move slowly away from him, but then, to his surprise, it came back and moved to the other side. That object remained in place for a while, almost as if it was observing him. After what seemed like an eternity, it suddenly zipped away in distance at an incredible speed and disappeared from sight. The local stood there, still trying to understand what he had just seen. It was hard to process, an experience that left him thinking that he just witnessed a UFO who he had only heard stories about. UFO on live TV. While reporting live in Turkey, a news reporter caught a sight no one expected. Behind her, in the middle of the city, not one but several giant-shaped flying objects appeared in the sky. They weren't moving at all, just hovering silently above the city. People on the street started running to catch a glimpse, their eyes wide with disbelief. This sight was so surreal that even the reporter couldn't believe what was unfolding behind her. Those massive shapes hung in the air, as if observing the city below. It was an unforgettable moment, something that would stay with the reporter and everyone else who witnessed it for a long time. The mystery of what they had just seen would be hard to forget. UFO in China's sky.
A UFO in China's skies forced Zhoushan Airport to stop operations on July 7th. Outbound flights were grounded after the unidentified flying object was detected by a flight crew.
On July 7th, a mysterious unidentified flying object appeared in China's skies, causing chaos at Zhoushan Airport as a flight crew noticed a strange presence. Outbound flights were grounded, and the airport ceased operations. This unusual sighting quickly made headlines across Chinese media, sparking wild online theories. Some speculated it was a secret U.S. aircraft, while others thought it could be an elaborate hoax. Yet, despite all theories, no one had clear answers to what had happened. For now, it remains unsolved, leaving many to think about what exactly was in the sky that day, and whether it will ever be explained. Pyramid UFO. Pyramid-shaped UFOs have been spotted in various parts of the world, sparking curiosity and confusion. These strange sightings have been seen from Moscow's Kremlin to airports in China, and even over the skies of Colombia and Mexico. One such incident took place on July 7th, when a UFO forced Zhoushan Airport in China to stop flights after crew members noticed a mysterious object in the sky. Was it a secret military craft, or something from another world? Meanwhile, people in New York spotted glowing objects moving in strange formations, leaving many wondering what they were witnessing. With more sightings popping up, people are left asking, what are these pyramid-shaped UFOs, and why are they showing up everywhere? Alien mothership over France. While hiking in France, a man stumbled upon a shocking sight. Up on a mountain peak, he saw a massive spaceship slowly moving overhead. It wasn't just any craft. It was the largest one he had ever seen, clearly a mothership. Beneath it, a smaller ship glided by, probably heading to our planet on some unknown mission. Realizing the enormity of what he had just witnessed, the hiker turned and ran. He knew that whatever was happening was not meant for him to be a part of. The giant ships vanished into the sky, leaving him with an unforgettable story and a weird feeling of being in the presence of something far beyond our world. UFO invasion. In August 2014, a local in Venezuela captured straight out of a movie. A massive black UFO hovered over a neighborhood, causing panic. People screamed and ran, unsure of what was happening. Some even claimed the ship took a few people, though it wasn't visible in footage. The strange event was like a terrifying trailer of what might come next, a glimpse of the unknown. As the UFO remained in the sky, the neighborhood was left in chaos, with everyone wondering what this weird visit meant, and whether it was just the beginning of something much bigger. UFO pickup. While hiking through woods, a hiker stumbled upon an unbelievable sight. A giant circle-shaped ship resting on open ground. As he processed what he was seeing, a tall, skinny creature with a large skull emerged from the forest and slowly moved toward the ship. That creature, clearly an alien, entered the craft. As soon as it did, that ship suddenly lifted off and vanished behind trees, disappearing. The hiker stood there in disbelief, unsure of what to make of the strange encounter. What happened next remained a mystery, but the ship and that alien were never seen again. UFO in forest. On January 27, 2025, a video surfaced showing a round-shaped metallic object hovering in the middle of woods. At first, it just stayed still, levitating over ground. Then, after a few moments, the object began to rotate slowly before rising into the air. As it flew away, the viewers were left in amazement, witnessing something they would likely never forget. The video quickly gained attention, sparking theories, and leaving many wondering about the true nature of that mysterious object. Was it a UFO, or was there another explanation? Whatever it was, it sure left a lasting impression. Underwater UFO. While fishing in the middle of the ocean, the fisherman suddenly saw a massive disc-shaped object emerge from beneath the water. It hovered above, metallic and glowing, as if scanning everything around it. He stood frozen in shock. Was there a secret portal hidden just below the surface? The craft had risen with a clear purpose, its presence undeniable. He couldn't tell whether it was a friend or foe, but one thing was certain: this was no ordinary sighting. The world was about to change forever. What had just appeared could be the beginning of something beyond our understanding. And as it hovered there, I realized this moment would stay with me for the rest of my life. UFO in Arizona. On November 5th, a group of loggers were in Sitgreaves National Forest, spending their long day when they noticed something unusual in the sky. Hovering above the trees was a metallic disc. The loggers watched in awe as it seemed to be preparing to leave, almost as if it had finished its task. Slowly, it ascended, and then, just like that, it was said to have disappeared into the sky. The loggers were left wondering if it was heading home, or if it had just completed its mysterious mission. Whatever it was, it certainly wasn't what they expected to see that day. Mysterious UFO. While going home, a local saw this strange diamond-shaped object moving slowly in the sky. It was dark and floating without any sound, almost like it was watching everything below. At first, that person thought it was a balloon, but it didn't move like one. It stayed in the air, shifting slightly, as if under control. No plane or helicopter looked like this. Was it a secret government aircraft? Or something not from Earth? The sky was quiet, but this unknown object made the locals feel both excited and afraid. He had a feeling that it was a UFO, and he was scared as he knew his feeling was right. Metallic UFO. While passengers were enjoying their flight, one of them suddenly spotted something unusual beneath the plane. A metallic, strange-shaped object was moving on their right side. The passenger immediately knew what it was. It had to be an alien ship. As that object continued its path, it seemed unaware of that plane. It kept moving silently, eventually disappearing out of sight. The passenger was left in wonder, knowing they had just witnessed something out of this world, but that ship still remained a mystery. Solar eclipse UFO. On March 17th, 2024, a video was uploaded that captured a strange sight in the sky during a solar eclipse. A glowing shape appeared in clouds, radiating multiple lights. The bright object hovered silently, making it look like a UFO. Some believed it was far more than it looked, while others thought it was normal. The footage quickly went viral, sparking debates and leaving people thinking what they were truly witnessing. Was it a natural phenomenon or an actual UFO? It still remains unsolved, and many are still confused by what was captured that day. UFO in ice. While roaming the desert in Saudi Arabia, a group of friends stumbled upon a crashed disc-shaped object. It looked like a UFO, and that group figured it might be empty inside. However, just as they were about to approach, the ship suddenly went straight up into the sky. In the blink of an eye, it vanished, leaving everyone speechless. Frozen in place, they struggled to make sense of what had just happened. The desert had just held a secret, one that would never be forgotten.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
UFO in fire. A scary video surfaced from Venezuela, showing a place engulfed in flames. Above the fire, a flying saucer hovered ominously, almost as if it was causing the blaze. The sight scared people, making them wonder if what they had heard about aliens was finally becoming real. As saucer loomed over that fire, it was as though the aliens were revealing their true power. That bizarre footage raised unsettling queries. What did this encounter mean for the future? And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. One evening in Canada, a local out for a walk saw an unbelievable sight, a giant disc floating in the sky. The object was dark and glowing underneath, moving slowly at first. The man, both curious and scared, ran toward it, making sure his eyes weren't playing tricks on him. The disc started to land in the distance, and he watched in amazement. But just as he thought he could get closer, it suddenly zipped away at lightning speed and disappeared without a trace, and was never seen again.